Y'all don't mind me. First of all, I'm in here because the light is a little bit better, and I literally just hopped out the shower as well. So I was like, let me just go ahead and do this little quick video because, you know, I'm just waking up seeing all this stuff, baby. I've been in the bed practically all day. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But this whole situation about the World Festival, I'm just gonna give my 2 cents right quick, right now. Terrible, terrible. That is something that should never happen, okay? And, you know, I see a lot of people saying blame, like people are divided. Blame Travis Scott or blame the fans. It's blame everybody. It's blame everybody, okay? This is the reason why I will never go to a festival unless I am invited behind stage and my seat is behind stage or backstage, on the stage, wherever, with a particular artist that's performing. Other than that, I will not be there, okay? Because I don't do crowds. I did that once before when I went to Beyonce, my very first Beyonce concert, and it was general admission, okay? And that was a lot for me, all right? Would I do it again? You know, I had thought about getting a pit ticket. No, I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't do it again. I need a seat, okay? And not to sit down, but to so that it's like seats around so that it can be like some organization. So everybody won't be all up on everybody because I cannot take that. If I was in a festival and to see the way that they be so packed in there and it's so freaking hot, I can just tell that it's hot, okay? Especially when they have it in the summertime and stuff like that. I can just tell that it's hot. It's already hot outside. Plus you putting all these bodies squunched up together. Oh my God. It's just too much. And then I'm a big girl at that. Like, no, girl, sometimes you got to know your limits, okay? And you got to understand that. You can do a lot of things, but there are some things that you can't do, okay? Everything ain't for everybody, all right? And then these ankles, these feet, it ain't gonna work. I probably would have been one, and I ain't even trying to be funny. Given the way my shit been going, I probably would have been one of the ones that kind of passed out, okay? That ain't, you got to know your limit. You got to know your limit. And I feel so bad for everybody that went there and, you know, the family of the people that got injured, the family of the people that got, unfortunately passed away. But we have to understand a lot of stuff that went through with this. A lot of these festivals, when I was looking at like some of the videos of what happened at the Astroworld Festival that went off last night, the video started coming out last night. Okay, and people were saying like, the first tweet that I saw, somebody, you know, haphazardly, you know, basically, oh, it was fire as fuck. But I mean, 8 people died. But I mean, I still had a bomb ass time. And I was like, wait a minute. We're not going to speed past that and continue and say that the concert was great. You literally just put out there that 8 people passed away. And I'm just like, wait a minute, what happened? Okay. And when I think of festivals, I automatically think of drugs. Okay. So I'm not assuming nothing, but I automatically think drugs. And, you know, after seeing a lot of the videos, I knew some shit was probably going to pop off. I just had an uneasy feeling because earlier today, somebody posted a video of them rushing the gates trying to get in. And they were trampling each other. They were stampeding and trampling each other trying to get in. Like everybody was falling and just stepping on each other trying to get in and everything. I said, I would never. That's what, oh my God. And if this happened to something like Astroworld, a smaller festival, compared to something like Lollapalooza that has probably like, what, 10 times more people that was there. We didn't see no videos, at least I didn't see no videos of people stampeding and trampling and doing all of this stuff or whatever, which it probably was. But, you know, they kept that under wraps or it was fixed right away. The situation was fixed and taken care of because it was thought out, it was planned, it was thoroughly done, you know. But in this situation with the Astroworld Festival, it wasn't. It literally seemed like the stuff was just put together. Like it didn't take time to, you know, they just like, listen, we're going to go ahead and do it. I've seen a video where somebody said they only had 1 stretcher and 1 defibrillator for 50,000 plus people. What? I'm like, that has to be a lie, okay? That has to be a lie because I just cannot. How can you just have 1 for all these people, one, knowing damn well something was going to happen. So I don't know if that's true, but if that is that, oh no. And basically, you know, they was like, people start pushing, and then the people in the front start getting crushed or whatever, and people passing out. Like a whole bunch of people got injured. 11 people had heart attacks. I'm seeing heart attacks. I said, now if y'all young and y'all having heart attacks, was y'all out here doing drugs or whatever? That's what I automatically thought. Or was you having a heat stroke that led to it or whatever, because your body overheated because it was just too much that was going on. And then people getting trampled on and dying, like 8 people passed away. It was negligence, okay? Travis Scott, and I get that y'all want a festival. I get that y'all, you know, because we have been locked up, or I should say we have been on shutdown mode, you know, for the past year and a half or so, you know, and so everybody just getting back out there and trying to, you know, get the concerts going, get their money and everything and please their fans. But at the same time, we have to take safety and precautions, okay? Because listen, I did see them. People was like, he didn't stop the concert. At one point, I saw only one video where he did stop it. You know, he was in midst of doing a song and he stopped it because somebody passed out and he was telling security to get that person. But then he continued right back going, okay? And I understand where they're saying, like, you know, the show must go on, the show must go on. But it gets to a certain point where you hear the crowds chanting, you know, stop the show, that you should stop the show. And truth be told, the crowd is to blame as well, because y'all out here, why are we pushing? Why are we doing all of this stuff, okay? I know we are excited because we're seeing our favorite artists and, you know, all of that, but it's not worth it. And I know he into the raging type of stuff or whatever, but at the same time, you should think about your fellow man, okay? You don't want nobody pushing all up on you, so why are we doing all of this? And, you know, that's why with festivals, you can't control the crowd like that. You can't control the crowd. And even if they would have stopped it, like, ain't no telling what that crowd would have done, to be quite honest. Like, it could have got crazy than what happened. And then it probably could have been more like lost a life or more injured people because the crowd was pissed off. It's like a lose-lose situation. You lose if you do this, you lose if you do that, you know. Either option really, I don't know. I just know that Travis is going to be blamed. He's going to have to take some responsibility because it is his festival. He's the headliner. The fans have to take some responsibility because y'all sometimes don't give a fuck about how your fellow man are doing. You know, when you at these particular shows, you just want to be first. You want to be up front. You want to see who it is. And that's unfortunate, okay? You don't care if anybody else is comfortable, you know? And the people who all around, the security, all the people who was involved with putting this whole thing together, y'all need to take some blame too, because this shit was not thought out well, okay? They said when the youngest victim was 10 years old. First of all, why is a 10-year-old there? I would never take no small child to no festival like that, okay? Hell no. More organization. I don't know if this shit was just put together, but this should not have happened. It sound like, I'm gonna tell y'all this. Go on, not MTV, HBO. If you got HBO Max or whatever, look up Music Box. It's supposed to be a documentary series about different times in music that happened, but only one episode has actually premiered, unless I gotta go look at the app and see if it did it on the app, because I only saw one episode on TV, and it was about Woodstock 99, okay? Now, that's in 1999, you know. It was like the 30th anniversary of Woodstock or whatever, or something like that, and don't quote me on that year anniversary shit, but it was the second one, okay? Y'all remember the original Woodstock back in the 60s or the 70s or whatever, and so, the 60s, and so, they did Woodstock 99. And if you go back and you look at that documentary, baby, that shit scared the life out of me, because it was so much stuff back then. Like, that shit was 10 times bigger than the freaking Astroworld. It was on the scale of probably like Lollapalooza plus a little bit more, you know. And it was so many people that was coming in there, so much stuff that was happening. They was setting stuff on fire. People was getting trampled on. They didn't have good facilities to use the bathroom. People was just no real clean water. People were passing out. Of course, there was drug usage. The women were not safe because they were getting sexually assaulted. Okay. It was a lot. It was a lot. And that's what that reminded me of, but to a smaller scale. But then people actually died, you know. So I just be weary of these festivals, and I pray for everybody that go there that, you know, y'all make it home, because anything could happen. Like, anything could happen anywhere, to be quite honest. But it just seems like a lot. I just don't see how y'all have fun like that with people being like, when Rolling Loud first came back. And somebody that people was posting videos. This one girl, she posted a video of her whole day, and it was on TikTok or whatever. She was just doing the whole journey. And when she was actually in the crowd, baby, they was pushed up on her. She was literally squeezed in, you know, like titty on back. All the titties and chest on back, okay? So it was like, you can't help but touch people because that's how much you ain't got no space. And I'm like, that is not comfortable. If I go to a concert, baby, I want to be able to dance and, you know, be able to move my arms and do all this stuff in the comfortability of the space that I am, knowing that I am not going to be touching anybody. And if I do, my bad, I can move over, okay? That's why I go to a stadium tour, get on that flow seat or whatever, you know, because sometimes we be dancing in the aisles and all that stuff, you know. Sometimes the security be lax, okay? Let me tell you something. Soldier Field, y'all security be lax as fuck. Sometimes I'm not complaining about it. But I will never forget when the last time I went to the Formation tour. They took this girl out that was behind us because that bitch was drunk, okay? I don't know if she was high, but she was drunk as shit, and she was doing the absolute most, and they had to rip her ass up out there, okay? Like, you are not finna mess this experience up for us, all right? But other than that, like, I just can't do it because I would lose my shit, and it will probably make me just get a little bit paranoid, and then I would panic, okay? It would just be too much, and I would have been the one, as soon as I seen all that stuff and I couldn't get to where I need to get to, and then you probably lose the people that you with, and then it's probably going to be hell trying to get out of there. Oh, no, I would have had to turn back around and say this was not a good idea. I just can't do it. But if y'all been to any festivals, whatever, tell me, how was your experience? Did you have a negative experience, a positive experience, or whatever? I'll be that bitch and you can't move. You can't move because you're gonna lose your spot. You're gonna lose your spot, okay? So you probably, that's just like when motherfuckers was in the beehive pit, bitch. You had to stay up in there that whole time unless you was just gonna lose your spot. For hours before the show started. Girl, ain't nobody got time for that, because that's how it was when I had general admission. And I was right at the front for general admission when I went to the Mrs. Carter show, and I was hanging on that rail. I was so glad that I had a rail to rest on. But even then, they wasn't pushing. Like, they had respect. There was a whole bunch of us or whatever, but they had respect. You know, people wasn't pushing on us. We had our little space or whatever. We had space to do what we wanted, even though we was general admission, meaning we were standing on the floor, you know. But other than that, the way I see these festivals, they scare me, bitch. Okay, I just know my body ain't built for it. All right, the way my paranoia be... I'll be, get me the fuck out of here. I'll be the one that'll freak out. And it's not funny, but it's just crazy. It's just the reality of things. Also, let me just speak on this one subject before I forget it. What's his name? Henry Ruggs or whatever, the football player that got into that accident. Okay, let's go back to Travis Scott. He's going to have to take some responsibility. They're going to, that little statement that he put out there, it was so manufactured in PR, but I get it. But, pay them people medical bills and, you know, pay for the funerals and stuff like that. That's the least you could do. But I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be some civil lawsuits or whatever, you know, that's going to be put out there, and try to find him responsible in some way for it, because it's his festival. I don't know if they can really do anything else, but this is going to change the way a lot of people do things now. I feel like it. But yeah, back to the football player that got into that car accident. I did not know that he was 22 years old. And that still don't change the fact that we was always taught, don't drink and drive. And I understand sometimes it's like you don't have the inclination or the intention to go out and get so drunk and then get in the car and to go commit a crime by drinking and driving. But we was taught not to do that. And I get it. Shit happens or whatever. And my whole thing about this situation is I don't feel sorry for him. I was just a little shocked that he was as young as he was, because he had a girlfriend that was in the car. And I want to know, was she drunk too? And if she was drunk or wasn't drunk, how come she didn't drive? Or how come they just didn't call somebody to pick them up? You know, whoever was the lesser drunk. Obviously, she probably was. I'm just going to assume. Like, it's so many more options that could have happened. Like, where is the friends that was around that could have been like, yo, no, we going to hold your keys or whatever. See, this is why you need to have a designated driver with you, a designated point person with you. So be friends, okay? And be like, no, don't get in the car. We're going to put you in an Uber or whatever. And we can say all these shoulda, coulda, wouldas or whatever, but we just don't know how we would respond if we was in that type of situation. So that's one. Two, you driving 156 miles per hour. What in the Fast and the Furious is going on, okay? You know, I feel so bad for the young lady and her dog. You know they gonna chew his ass up for the dog alone, okay? As soon as I heard that shit about the dog, I said, oh, there it is. You know, they care about animals more than they care about humans, to be quite honest. But then it was a woman that got killed up in that car, burnt alive. And then I saw the video of the car actually. And then was that his girlfriend that was comforting him on the sidewalk? Because I'm like, she seemed a little bit, you know, more coherent than he was. So how come she couldn't drive? That's what I'm coming. I don't know. It's just sad. Like, you're 22 years old and your career is gone. You barely had it, you know what I'm saying? And now you got to be a regular person because ain't nobody finna hire you. Ain't nobody finna hire you. Look what they did with Michael Vick. Never came back to the you know, he didn't kill nobody, but he was messing with the dogs, okay? And they prime enemy, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like he needs the consequences that he deserves, okay, with this. You know, you literally killed somebody. You caused the death of somebody. That's what manslaughter. And it didn't have to happen. It didn't have to happen. So many things that could have went down that could have saved this person and saved himself. You know, I hope it's a lesson learned to him. And I hope it's a lesson learned to everybody else. I don't know if this was one of those situations where, you know, you never had anything and then all of a sudden you got access to everything because you got this amount of money, you got this amount of fame, you can do this, and now I'm 22, I'm legally able to drink. I've probably been drinking a little bit, but then I just didn't know my limit and I thought I was okay because a drunk ain't never gonna tell you that they drunk when they say that they're not, when they are, and get behind the car. You know what I'm saying? He probably really thought that he was okay and kind of found out he wasn't. It's just a messed up situation all around. I just miss Tina, her family. Condolences. Actually, I do. I said I don't feel bad for him. I do, because his life is his career. His career is gone, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna get a little bit of jail time. I don't. If they don't, I would be surprised, but I really do feel like he is. But y'all tell me how y'all feel. I just really wanted to get on here and pop up here and talk about something because, listen, I ain't been on this channel in a few days or whatever. I hope y'all doing great. Y'all got me in my natural state. Like I said, I literally just got out the shower, put my shirt on. Just the light was good up in here, you know what I'm saying? So I said, let me just get on here and start talking or whatever, because it was on my mind. It was fresh on my mind. But y'all tell me how y'all feel, and I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all weekend, okay? Be easy. Peace.